Hey guys, welcome back. Today I have a typical slow homeschool day ahead. I'm going to be doing some simple homemaking around the house, just cleaning and, cooking around our homeschool day. The kids and I are going to go to the park for a little bit, and I'm just going to show you kind of how things go. I definitely have a relaxed rhythm approach to homeschool, so I'm going to show you what an average day looks like being a solo mom while my husband is at work. Why don't you go ahead and try and mix these up a little bit. Mix the eggs up in there. Do it together. Do it together. Yeah, we're gonna put the eggs in there. I also gotta get the butter.
I'm hungry.
You're so hungry?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna dump this butter in here. You wanna help? Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead. Pour it in there. Good job. Oh, sorry. Put it in. Don't drop that big bowl on the floor, boy. Where's my scooper? Where's my scooper? We got a little bit of a late start today, but that's okay. I was trying to figure out what we're gonna do for Matt's birthday, because Matt's birthday is on the 31st of March. So right now we're only maybe a couple weeks away, and so I really needed to buckle down and figure out what we're gonna do, because I had already decided on the theme. We're gonna do monster truck theme. So it was hard because he's into so much stuff. He's into Transformers, he's into motorcycles, he's into monster trucks, he's into everything. And so I really wasn't sure what to do, because there wasn't just one thing that stood out to me. And so I asked Nico what he thought, and he said we should do monster trucks. So I was like, okay, we're gonna do monster trucks. So I knew that. I already figured out kind of the design of the cake and a rough outline of what I want to do, but I hadn't sat down and bought the party decorations and really figured out what colors and stuff. So I was trying to do that this morning. So that's why we had a late start. But has that ever happened to you where all of a sudden you think of something that you're supposed to do and then you kind of get anxiety over it? That happens to me, and then I'll be crap, and I have to take care of it, or it's just gonna be worrying me on my mind all day. So that's how I was feeling for a second this morning about his birthday and stuff. And I know it's silly, it's gonna come together, everything's gonna be fine, but yeah, we just have a normal day at home. I'm gonna do breakfast. We're gonna do some homeschool here in a little bit. We're gonna have tacos for dinner, so later on I'm gonna make some tortillas. Yeah, so just a normal day at home. But last night I tried to set myself up for today. You know how being a stay-at-home mom, it kind of, sometimes you can feel society makes you feel I don't know, it's not a job, you're just hanging out at home. Well, I feel things are changing, and being a stay-at-home mom is more acceptable these days. I've started to look at being a stay-at-home mom as more of a job, and I feel the last few years since I started looking at this as my job, this is what I do, this is my responsibility, I've gotten better at being a mom, and it just totally changed my outlook, and I don't feel oh, I'm just at home hanging out all day. Even though I know I wasn't doing that, it helped shift my focus from like thinking this is not a job to like being proud of what I do every day, being proud to take care of my family and all the things that go along with that, and taking care of my house and the finances and all that. Like, this is my job and I'm proud to do it now. But one of the things I do sometimes is to make sure like I'm productive, to have a good day, to put my best foot forward. I will get myself ready the day before, so I figure out what I'm gonna wear the next day. Like today we were gonna have muffins, and I kind of planned out how today was gonna go. And I'm making a double batch of these muffins because we can have them for breakfast, and then the kids can have them today and tomorrow for like a healthy snack. So just planning ahead, especially if you're trying to get away from eating processed foods, you have to think ahead and plan food for your family. So this is one way that I can do that. Just make a double batch, and then later we'll have more food that's already cooked. And that's one of the things I try to do. If you're cooking, if it's possible to make a double batch, if it's possible to make more, to try and do that, and then that way you can have lunch later, or you can make snacks for later. So I kind of planned out my day, what I want to do today, kind of like a schedule for myself. It's just a very rough outline of the things that I want to do. So like the muffins, I printed out the recipe last night. I also like got together my dry ingredients so that this morning I could just put the wet ingredients in and like be ready to go. And it just makes the day like that much smoother. That's one tip. Try to think about what you have to do the next day. And then if there's steps that you can do the day before to help set you up for success, just do it, because it's just like a regular job. Imagine if you were going to your job or your first day on the job anywhere. What do we do on our first day? We pick out our clothes. We figure out what time we need to get up. We plan like our meals, or we just set ourselves up for success because it's our first day of work. But I've learned that it's good to do that a lot. You don't have to do that just on your first day of work. And I mean this just in general, like in your life, maybe you do work, and we can kind of start to get comfortable with everything, and maybe we aren't setting ourselves up for success every day. And it is hard to do this every day. I don't do this every day, but it's nice to remind yourself that your life is important, your jobs are important, whatever they may be. And maybe a few times a week, you set yourself up for success, put your best foot forward, and I feel like it's very beneficial for you, it's beneficial for your family. It's a good mindset to have, to set yourself up for success as often as you can. So I know being a stay-at-home mom, it's not your typical job, but I do look at mine like a job, and it's really helped me manage my time. You know, I think I've told you guys before, being a stay-at-home mom, you need to manage yourself because there's nobody here to watch you, and just be responsible. So this is how I try to be responsible. So yeah, so we're just gonna have a normal day at home, and then I'll just take you along throughout the day and show you what I'm cooking and what we're gonna eat and stuff. So right now I am emptying the dishwasher and trying to put some of the clean dishes away from the night before. My husband Nico is home right now. He's on his first break of the day. He works at UPS, and he's been at UPS for about 18 years. It took him a really long time to actually go driving, and once he did, he was kind of like a swing driver. He didn't have his own route, and then after about 4 or 5 years of that, he finally got his own route, and his route is our neighborhood. So he gets to deliver packages right here in the neighborhood, and so he's close enough to stop and take his breaks here. So we get to see him for breakfast and for his lunch break. So for his first break, he stops off at the house and he gets to have breakfast with us. And then later on in the afternoon, I'll make him some lunch. And then he gets to stop here for like a break or two, or if he has to go to the bathroom. But it's been really nice. Before Nico got his own route, when he was a swing driver, We never saw him. Being a UPS driver, they work extremely long days. An average day is about 10 hours, and then there are definitely days where they go over that. And then we also live about an hour away from his job, so it's almost 2 hours of drive time on top of the regular working day. And it's just something about the company, they just have the drivers work really long days, and so when Nico didn't have his own route, we hardly ever saw him. He would be gone early in the morning, and then he wouldn't be back until after the kids were asleep. So it's been life-changing for us to have him finally have his own route and get to stop at home and spend time with us. The kitchen and do the dishes, but I've really been meaning to come in here and clean the dishwasher. It's hard because like I want to, but it's always full of dishes, so there's never a time to do it. So I always have to like just empty it, hold off on like putting dishes in here for a little while and just clean it real quick. It doesn't take that long and then it'll be done, you know? I had said before that not using the dish pods, my thing doesn't get all slimy and gross anymore. There's like a little bit of food in here, but it's really not bad. And it's definitely not like slimy and weird or anything. So it was the dish pods. The dish pods make it like really slimy. I mean, it's definitely a little bit dirty. It needs to be cleaned, the filter, but it's not slimy or anything. And it used to be so dirty. So I just use straight powdered detergent. And I feel like my dishes come out just as clean. The powdered detergent is a lot cheaper and it keeps my dishwasher a little bit cleaner than using the pods. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash this. We're gonna run a cleaning cycle on the dishwasher and then I'm gonna take the kids to the park. It's just a nice day outside, so I figure we'll go to the park for like an hour and I'll let them play. And then when we get back, I'll do some school with the kids. Maybe some lunch if they're hungry by then. But yeah, let's get this dishwasher clean. So before we left, I wanted to give Nikki's bangs a trim. It never bothers me till we're about to go somewhere, and then I'm looking at her and I'm like, okay, this has to be done right now. And I actually cut everybody's hair. It saves us a lot of money, especially with the boys, since they need haircuts almost monthly. Alright, so we are at the park. I brought my book, get a little reading in. It's so weird for me to film with the camera facing me. For some reason it feels awkward, but okay, that's a little better. Hang on. I never use my selfie camera, so I didn't notice that it was pretty dirty, but it was kind of dirty, so. When I was young, like middle school, high school, I used to love to read books, and it was one of my favorite things to do. And then naturally, as I turned into an adult and I started working and then started having kids, I stopped reading, and it's something that I've wanted to start doing. And then the other day I was at Walmart and I was like, I'm just gonna look at the books and see if I find one. And so I found this one. I read some of the titles. This one's pretty good, but it's a little bit sexy. Just a little bit, a little too much, but It's pretty good besides that part. I will say, like, the beginning definitely had me, like, I was hooked. I love when I start a book and, you know, like, just a couple pages in, you're like, oh, this is good. I actually, like want to read it, you know? So I just read it every night at bedtime. I don't know. This isn't even exactly the type of book that I like to read. I remember when I was young, I definitely liked, like, fantasy and stuff like that. So it sounded kind of like up my alley. Yeah, it's a little graphic as far as like fighting scenes and stuff, which I don't love. So I don't know. I just figured I would try to finish it and then go from here and see if like I want to finish any more of her books, or maybe I'll try something totally different. But I think it's spring break right now. I don't even know what the regular holiday weeks are anymore. I've just been hearing people mentioning spring break, so I think it's spring break, but there's no kids at the park. There's like never any kids outside. I don't know if it's like that where you live, but I know that there's some kids that live in our neighborhood, but they never play outside or anything. So kids are so much different than when I was growing up. You know, when we were growing up, I feel like we were always outside, we were always at the park, and it was just like, you know, you had to come inside when it got dark outside. But yeah, kids don't really play outside anymore, which is kind of sad. But yeah, I will pick back up when we get home. Alright, so we're back. I got the kitchen picked up, and as soon as I'm done here, we're gonna start doing some school. And today we're doing language arts. So we started doing a new thing where, like, Mondays we do math, Tuesdays we do language arts, Wednesdays we do like history and science, and then Thursday we do home ec. So on home ec, I'll teach the girls how to do laundry, or we'll fold some laundry together, or I'll help them clean something, or I'll explain to them, you know, why I clean something a certain way. Just trying to teach them things so that, you know, they'll grow up and know how to take care of a home one day too. And then I also teach them how to cook. So they've been liking learning how to bake. I'll let them help me with breakfast. Just like learn good skills so that they can function someday in life. And they've been really loving doing home ec days. And it's been really nice. I know it probably seems like a lot of work for some people. It probably isn't a good fit for all children. What we've been doing is 4 lessons on Monday for math, 4 lessons on Tuesday for language arts, and then we do science and history on Wednesday, and then we'll do our home ec on Thursday. It does take longer this way initially to do so many lessons in one day, but it's been nice. The girls seem to handle it fine, and it's nice to just take out the one subject, sit down, and get it done. And they seem to be doing fine. They're retaining the information, and the next week when we pick back up again, they seem to remember where they left off. So for us, it's been working, and it's been nice to free up the other 2 days, because it can feel kind of overwhelming to do all the subjects in one day, and this has been working for us. So just something I wanted to try. That's the beauty of homeschool, is you can try something, and if it doesn't work, then you can try something different. So for now, that's what we're doing. But today's language arts, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on that.
You're too hard to believe in. Moment I ever called her mine, I knew exactly what I was calling. to say. There will be nothing to get over if I just let it slip away. So I guess I'll try. Yet another close call from my eyes.
All right, so me and the kids are done with school. I'm gonna go ahead and get started on dinner. So it's been a minute since I made tacos since I made tortillas because we've been doing low carb. This is how I make my corn tortillas. This is the one that I use. It's the King Arthur organic masa flour. I really like this one. The ones in the store, I can't remember their name. They're usually in the Mexican food aisle. I don't really like those ones. I feel like every time I buy them, they're really like stale almost. They have like a stale taste to them and I don't enjoy them very much. This one, I feel like this one tastes really good. It tastes more fresh to me. The ones in the store, in like the paper bags, they taste stale. So this one, I follow the directions on the back, but I also add 1 tablespoon of avocado oil, and then, yeah, that's it. I think, how much salt does it call for? It calls for a 1/16 of salt. I add like a half a teaspoon because they need a little more salt. Yeah, so I'm gonna show you how I do those. And then I've tried a lot of different ways to press my tortillas. I've tried like using a glass bowl. I've tried using Ziploc bags. You like cut the seams off, and then you have the 2 pieces of plastic. And I've also tried that because people recommend it, and it doesn't work for me. My dough always sticks to the plastic. But another recommendation that I saw was to use plastic bags. And I think I've seen like on food channel videos, like in Mexico, the ladies use plastic bags to help press their tortillas. And this works really good. This is the only thing that works for me personally. So I take my plastic bag, I just cut 2 little squares. So I have 2 pieces of plastic like this, and then I do use a tortilla press. 1 piece of plastic goes on the bottom, 1 goes on the top, and then you put your ball of masa in there and press it. And I found that these work the best. I can actually get the tortilla off the plastic without it sticking, without it breaking. You still have to be careful, but this is the best way that I found to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and make some corn tortillas. Once my masa is all mixed together, then I do a little test. I take a little ball of masa and then I press it together into a disc, and then I check the sides. If there's too much cracking along the sides of the disc, then it's too dry. If it sticks to your hands a lot, then it's too wet. Once that's done, then I divide the dough into 16 little balls, and then I start the process of pressing and cooking them. And I also, once they're cut and rolled into little balls, I keep them under a damp towel to keep them from drying out.
Felt something like your touch. I wish we would have met tonight. Sure, I've had lovers in my past. Won't lie, I've had a blast, but none of them had your humor.
I then pan cook them for about 30 to 45 seconds per side. And then the key to soft tortillas is to put them in a container or a bowl, something with a towel so that they can steam. This is the only way I've been able to get soft tortillas. If not, they just dry out really fast and then they just fall apart. And to finish these off, I just used what I had on hand. I had some sour cream, some jack cheese and avocado, and also some romaine lettuce. But I just wanted to say thank you guys for all the support and all my new subscribers. I'm just trying to find my way here on YouTube, and it really, really means a lot to me. Please drop me a comment below. Don't be shy, and I'll see you guys again next week.